Shalom, shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekak Radash. Secondly, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth in righteousness and in sincerity. And third of all, I want to give salutations to the hopeful elect that's out on the highways and byways teaching and preaching this word in truth and in sincerity. The title of this lesson is going to be We're in the New Covenant? Question mark. Once again, we're in the New Covenant? Question mark. And I'm going to just be going into the fact that we're not in the New Covenant. Unlike these Israelite camps, specifically IUIC, headed by Bishop Nathaniel, they've been putting out a false notion that we're in the New Covenant, just bringing out blasphemous lies, and mixing and screwing the scriptures and lying on the scriptures, trying to, make our Lord and our Savior to be, a liar, because if we were in the New Covenant right now, there's a lot of prophecies and a lot of things that are written that, would be made a lie, because there's a lot of things that must happen before we enter into the New Covenant, But I'm going to start this lesson off with Jeremiah 31 and 31. And I'm just basically in this lesson just going to be going into things that's coming in the New Covenant that proves that we're not in the New Covenant right now because these things have not come. But this is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31, and it reads, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I will put my law in their inward parts. I will write it in their hearts, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Right. Our inward parts is speaking of our spirit, and our flesh, Well, ultimately, it's speaking about, our flesh, because our flesh is going to be transformed. Our flesh is wicked. Our flesh wants to abide in the ways of the world. Our flesh wants to do all of the things that are opposed to the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But our spirit wants to serve the Lord. Our spirit wants to be righteous. So ultimately, that's going into our flesh being changed, and we, us being given a heart of flesh so that we can receive, the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai perfectly, because we have a stony heart right now. And, just like, a stone, you can't pierce through that, It's hard to pierce through a stone, So that's how the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has been to our flesh. Our flesh just wants to go, it wants to buck up against it 24/7. Every time, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wants to enter into you, your flesh is, bucking up against it like a stone, trying to keep it from, piercing you. The spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Your flesh wants you to just stay wicked and stay carnal, But it reads, and write it in their hearts. Right, your heart goes into your mind, so the law is going to be written in our minds, so we're not going to ever, have to worry about breaking any laws, because we're going to live by the laws. When we're first born, we're going to know everything. We're going to know the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai perfectly. We won't be able to make a mistake because Just like you see these animals out in the world, when they're born, they perfectly know how to be that animal. You know, you don't see a cat teaching a cat how to be a cat. They perfectly know how to be, an animal. You know, you don't see the bird teaching the baby birds how to flap their wings and fly before they throw them out the nest. The bird just knows how to fly when it's that time, because those were the laws, statutes, and commandments that was put into the animals. We all got laws, specifically for us. The fowls, they have laws, that they abide by, through the will and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And they know those things perfectly. That's why they don't have to be taught. And that's how we're going to be in the kingdom. We're going to know straight when we're born, who we are and how we're supposed to be living, and that's not happening right now. You have people, the majority of the people in this world, just living however they want to live, thinking that they're Black or Hispanic or Native American, when the reality is that we're Israelites and that we are, we're gods, we're kings and priests, but we've been made to think that we're servants and we're low and we're Black and we're the minority, we're worthless, we are the God of, the world is a white man that is all about love, and you can do whatever you want, come as you are. Our people are believing these things, so how could we be in the new covenant when our people are still blinded and under false illusions? It doesn't make any sense, because this is something that's coming in the new covenant, which is going to be established in the kingdom of heaven, not in the kingdom of Esau, Edom. The scriptures doesn't say that, but it reads in verse, let me see, it reads in verse 33. Yeah, I'm gonna start back in verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. I will put my law in their inward parts, and I will write it in their hearts, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, for they shall know me from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Right. So what you seeing me doing right now, you teaching, and what you seeing, Israelites doing, I'm specifically talking about, the men of the Lord, the men that's speaking the 100% truth, but you see Israelite men teaching and preaching the word of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, telling the nation of Israel to know the Lord. You see that, if you search up Israelites, it don't matter what camp it is, you seeing Israelites teaching, Israelites to know the Lord, and that shows you that we are not in the new covenant yet, because that is going to stop in the new covenant. We won't have to teach, our brothers anymore, because we're all going to know the Lord perfectly. From when we're born, we're going to know the Lord perfectly, so there's no way that we're in the new covenant, that's blasphemous. But let me see, it reads, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall know me from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. For I will forgive their iniquity and will remember their sin no more. Right, now let me grab Revelations. This is Revelation chapter 21, verse 3, and it reads, And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. You see death all day. You see tears all day. You see sorrow all day. You got homeless people out here starving. These things are not going to be going down in the kingdom of heaven. You're not going to see Israelite men out here, low, bugging out, talking to themselves on the train. You're not going to see them begging for money, on the streets, trying to sell little water bottles. You're not going to see us in the prisons. You're not going to see us locked up, getting, all kind of wicked things done to us in the prison systems. You're not going to see us mistreated by our oppressors, getting shot dead in the streets or getting shot dead in the car because you had an officer fearing for his life. You're not going to see these things in the new covenant. So how are we in the new covenant when we're seeing these things? We are in the transition period right now, the grace period, but we have not entered the new covenant. The new covenant comes with the kingdom of heaven. Esau, Edom's kingdom cannot stand with the new covenant being here. Esau, Edom has to fall first. He has to be thrown down. And then the new covenant shall be established, with the kingdom of heaven. But the kingdom of heaven is not just going to appear out of nowhere from a man just saying that we're in the new covenant. No. It says God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Look, Israel is the most hurt nation ever right now. We are the most hurt nation on earth. From the blacks, Hispanics to the Native Americans. We are full of tears, full of sorrow as a nation. So there's no way that we're in the new covenant, But I'm going to grab Isaiah 11:6. This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 6, and it reads, "The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie with the kid, and the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them, and a little child shall lead them." Right, so these are dangerous predators that the scriptures are saying are going to be, dwelling with, prey, and it's talking about young prey. It said the leopard shall lie down with the kid. The kid is going into, I believe, a baby, let me see. Right, a young male goat, So you got a young goat with a leopard, and they dwelling together. The leopard is not trying to kill the young goat. And it says, and the calf and the young lion. Right. The calf is, a baby sheep, I believe. Oh, Salakia. It's a bull, Salakia. But you got a lion, a young lion with, a calf, These are predators and prey, They're not supposed to be dwelling with each other according to this world. That's not something that's natural or something that's realistic, And it says, and the fatling together, and the child and a little child shall lead them. Right, so you got a little child leading all of these different, animals. You got predators and prey, and a child is leading them. So they're going to be following that child, meaning the child is going to have command over them. The child is going to have power over them, and that's going to obviously be an Israelite child, It's not going to be a heathen child or a child that's not, within the 12 tribes of Israel. You're going to have Israelite children, ruling over these dangerous animals and just animals in general. And you're going to have these animals dwelling amongst each other, not having a care in the world. It literally says the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. Wolves will tear a lamb to shreds if they seen them. Especially if they get hungry, it's over, But in the kingdom of heaven, in the new covenant, these animals are not going to need to eat each other because the Lord is going to provide for them, They're not going to be killing each other. It's going to be peace and tranquility, A lot of things are going to be done away with in the new covenant that we see going on in this world, But it reads in verse 7, and the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together. Right. You got a cow and a bear feeding, and their young ones lying down together, meaning they're going to be dwelling together, These animals are going to be at peace with each other, And it reads, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. Right, so they're not going to even have to eat meat, The Lord is going to be providing for everything, every creation, And it's going to be a new spirit within the earth to where you're not even going to have, these predators are not even going to have to eat, these other animals to survive anymore. The Lord is going to provide for them in a new way, We're going to be in a new earth, But it reads, and the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. Right, and these are dangerous serpents, And it's saying a young child shall play on the hole of the asp. Right. So that an asp, let me grab that right quick. It says a snake, venomous serpent, perhaps the cobra, adder, or viper. Right, so, a dangerous serpent. And the child is going to be playing with these serpents, Just, dwelling and, not having no worries, around these dangerous animals. Because these animals are going to be subdued and, subservient to the Israelite, nation, the nation of Israel. They're going to be under our control. So, we're not going to have any fear around them, and they're not going to try anything because they fear the Lord, and they're completely under the commandment of the Lord. And in the new covenant, they're not going to be allowed to hurt the children of Israel. They won't be able to, it won't even be a thought that they could think, But, it reads, they shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain. Like I was just saying, that's the spirit. And it reads, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, as the waters cover the sea. Exactly. And you're not seeing that right now. Nobody, the majority of these people in this world do not know Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord that are written within the Bible are not being pushed within the world, The only men that you see pushing it in truth and in sincerity are the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, But outside of that, this world is completely against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai in this word, this truth. So how can we be in the new covenant when the world doesn't know the Lord, the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai? It says, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, as the waters cover the sea. The majority of the earth is covered by the sea, So, there's no way we're in the new covenant, That is blasphemy. But I'm going to grab Matthews 12 and 34. This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 34, and it reads, O generation of vipers, How can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. Right. And if you're evil, our heart, which is our mind, is fleshly, of course. So it's always going to be inherently, wicked and want to go off, because our flesh is evil. Our flesh is sinful. It wants to go against the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But if you're evil, if you have evil motives, evil intentions, how can your mind speak, good things? How can it? How can you speak good things? Because you're in this wicked flesh and you're wicked as well. Your fruit can't be good, and you got these wicked Israelites that's out here, trying to teach and preach the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, but they don't know the Lord. They're not of the Lord. They're of the world. Therefore, their fruit and the things that they say, they're wicked. Because they produce the fruit that they are. And this is a wicked fruit. This is a wicked lie, saying that we're in the new covenant. When we're in captivity right now. That's wickedness. That's blasphemous. But you can only expect so much from men that are wicked. But it reads in verse 35, a good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. Right. So these prophets out here that know the truth, but they still choose to lie and deceive the nation of Israel, using, the power that they have to, be a serpent, and just to be a, just a deceiver, to serve Esau, Edom. These men, their treasure is in wickedness. Therefore, all that they can grab and, give is wickedness, lies, deceits, and you got some men, that the Lord gonna have mercy on, that's within these camps. But if they not of that number, they're gonna have to perish on this side and be born again in the kingdom of heaven. But it's only so much that a man can do, good, if he got his hands in the treasure chest of, evil. It's only so much good that he can give, because all he's receiving is evil, deception. So he's going to produce that deception and that wickedness, to deceive the masses, and that's what you see going on with Bishop Nathaniel. He, he's out of here. It's the love of money, the love of, man, it's a lot of things, that you could see with these different camps. But like IUIC, that camp, they in a heap of trouble, man. They got a whole lot coming to them, lest they repent, But the majority of those Israelites over there, they just being sealed for destruction, But this is John. I'm gonna close it off on here. This is John chapter 10, verse 1, and it reads, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber." Right. And it reads, "But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep." Right. But it reads in verse 1, "He that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber." That door, entering by the door into the sheepfold, that's going into learning the 140 Salakia, learning the 100% truth, knowing the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity, and growing in the truth, and ultimately being saved by, growing and knowing Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai in truth and in sincerity, and showing those works by that faith, But, going up another way, that's going into, following these other camps and their doctrines where they make it a little more convenient or a little more fun, if you want to say, than the 140. I don't know why I keep saying 144,000. Salakia. A little more fun, so to speak, or so-called fun, than the 100% truth. These other camps, they have their gimmicks and stuff to make it look more appealing to, these worldly people. But you going into those camps and following those doctrines because it might be a little more pleasing to the ears, or they might let you do things that you can't do in the 100% truth, that's you climbing up another way, but you're not going to be saved by doing that. A thief and a robber, though they're not entering into the kingdom of heaven, So when it comes to you, listening to these other camps, you got to know who got the 100% truth, who to follow, who is actually speaking the word of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Because it's only one door, and all of the other ways that you can try to enter into that house, they just go lead you straight to death, But it reads, "He that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. And he calleth down his own sheep by name and leadeth them out." Right, those sheep is the 144,000, and that shepherd is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is our shepherd. When he was on earth, he was, leading his men, teaching his men, leading by example, and when he sacrificed himself, his men was made to, carry, bear the cross, and his men are still bearing that cross up until this day right now, up until these last days where, the men of the Lord are walking in the ways of Yahweh Shai, being persecuted, being lied on, being, called names, being hated, and just battling this flesh, The men of the Lord are going through what Yahweh Shai went through, And that's ultimately how you enter that door, going through the 100% truth, sincerely, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, using the spirit of Yahweh Shai to, guide you into, salvation and redemption. But it reads in verse 4, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Right, so the elect, they follow this truth, this word, which is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the word, the Yahweh Shai makes up this book, So the words in this book, they're Yahweh Shai, they are the words of Yahweh Shai, through the spirit, The spirit of Yahweh Shai makes up, this book, because the Yahweh Shai was made in the image of the Father, and the Father is, the creator of all of this, The Father is the creator of, every word in this Bible, the creator of the law, statutes, and commandments, and everything was given to Yahweh Shai, Therefore, Yahweh Shai, he is all of these things as well, and he makes up this book, the Bible tells you that. But it reads, right here in let me see. It reads in verse 5, and a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. Right, and the Bible tells you that the elect cannot be deceived, because it's not written and it's not possible for the elect to be deceived, because the elect ultimately can hear the voice of Yahweh Shai, therefore they follow Yahweh Shai, and they don't follow these false prophets that's in this world, but it reads in verse 6, this parable spake Yahweh Shai unto them, but they understood not what things they were, which he spake unto them. And it reads in verse 7, then Yahweh Shai said unto them again, verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. Right. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. Right. Because the men of the Lord cannot be deceived by these false prophets. It was a point where, those men were in the world and they hadn't heard, the voice of the Lord, which is the scriptures. They hadn't heard the voice of the Lord, in its true context before. So, they was being lied to and, guided by these false these false shepherds. But once the men of the Lord heard the voice of Yahweh Shai, which is this word, they heard him, they could hear him, they knew his voice, and they knew that the voices of all of these other men, these other doctrines, these other philosophies, they knew that the voices of these things were, voices of thieves and robbers, voices of deceitful men, men that are not of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, But it reads in verse 9, I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. Right, Yahweh Shai is that door, We have to go through Yahweh Shai in order to be saved, We have to go through Yahweh Shai is the one who allows our prayers to be heard by the Father, So everything runs through Yahweh Shai, We can't get salvation without going through Yahweh Shai, So he is the door, he is the book, and we must follow, the book, which is following him, the Bible. We must follow the Bible, ultimately. And ultimately, us following the Bible is us following Yahweh Shai. But you can't just follow the Bible how you think you should. You have to follow the Bible in its 100% truth. It's 100% context, And then, you will be following Yahweh Shai, But it reads in verse 10, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. Right, so these false prophets out here teaching these lies, telling that we in the new covenant when we not in the new covenant, they've only come to, steal, kill, and destroy. Destroy your mind, destroy your spirit, kill you, because ultimately you're going to be put to death by following these doctrines that they're preaching. These doctrines are going to lead you to death, and they're stealing your spirit, they're stealing money from you, they're stealing all kind of things from you, just to lie to you, just for vanity, for wickedness, but it reads, I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Right. We're going to have it more abundantly in the kingdom, We're going to have complete life, in all, aspects. We're going to have complete, pure life, And it reads, I am come that they might have life. Life is this truth, this knowledge, this understanding. So the men that are of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, teaching and preaching this word, they have come to give life, pure life, and that's this 100% truth, But these other men, they have come to deceive, to lie to you, to tell you, smooth things so that you keep on listening, But those things are going to lead you to death, destruction, and, just hopelessness at the end of the day, because it's not gonna bring you to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, But it reads, in verse 11, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd heareth, the good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. Right. Giving your life, that can be physical, being a martyr, because there will be men of the Lord that will have to give up their life, for this truth, they will have to be, martyred, for believing in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But on the other hand, the sacrifices, the spiritual sacrifices, the losing your life in this world for the life in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, giving your life for this truth, it's, twofold. But either of those, it's life at the end of the day, because you being a martyr, you're gonna have you're gonna be resurrected first, and that's gonna be a very, very glorious thing in the kingdom, you being a martyr, and if you sacrifice your life on, the spiritual level and the physical level, just giving more time to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord is going to reward you for that as well. The Lord is going to give you more for what you let go. He's going to give you way more than what you let go. You throw 3 apples out the window, the Lord go give you 23. Lord go give you 53. So it's like nothing that you losing is gonna even be worth comparing to what you're gonna be given, But it reads in verse 12, but he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. Right, and that wolf is the judgment, These Israelites, they see this judgment coming. They see this judgment running down the pipeline, approaching, and it's closer than it's ever been. But, they're not warning, they're not telling the Israelites what they need to know. They're not telling our nation to truly get right with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to repent, to keep certain laws, to the best of their abilities. They're not telling them the, pure instruction that comes through the doctrine of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're telling them things that they believe will keep, those Israelites, coming back. They're telling them smooth things and, beneficial things that they feel these Israelites want to hear. We're telling them things that they need to hear, things that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, commanded for them to hear, So, it's a difference. But they're just allowing these Israelites to just, be lost, because they're deceiving them, telling them lies so that they're not ready when, that hell comes, when that judgment comes, But it reads in verse 13, the hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep. Right. So they don't care about you Israelites. Bishop Nathaniel don't care about you Israelites. These other camps, ISUPK, they don't care about the followers that they have, because if they did, they would, evaluate themselves, examine themselves in the doctrine that they're preaching and teaching, and see that it's false, and they would correct themselves based upon that. But they don't care, Therefore, they're not correcting themselves, But it reads in verse 14, I am the good shepherd and know my sheep and am known of mine. Right, so Yahweh Shai is that good shepherd, and he knows his men and they know him, All of the Israelites that are being woken up to this 100% truth, and they are sincere and humble, they have a very, very high chance of being the men of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahweh Shai, through the Spirit, But it's 144,000 in the 2/3, and then you got the 1/3 being that great multitude, But it reads in verse 15, as the Father knoweth me, even so I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. That is a good shepherd, laying down your life for the sheep, not caring what Esau Edom does or says about you preaching the 100% truth, and you just standing on business when it comes to Yahweh B'Ashem Yahweh Shai. That is a good shepherd, telling the sheep that the wolf is coming, that judgment is coming, that nuclear destruction and famine and all out hell is coming, that the micro sea hip is coming, That's what the good shepherd does, but the hireling, he just drinking beers, not even caring, he just enjoying his music, playing the game. He ran in the house playing the game, enjoying his music, while the sheep outside with a whole pack of wolves, and he seen them coming, so he went in the house. But he didn't close the gate up. He didn't try to, go get his weapon. He might even have had, guard dogs in the house, that normally be outside, but he brought them in the house just because he don't care about those sheep. He cared more about his dogs, and that's how Jake is. They care about their dogs, that's my dog, Fuck the sheep though. That's how it be, these niggas, they care about they niggas. But if you got an Israelite, a brother that know he an Israelite and he trying to come to them about the truth, tell them about the truth, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Oh, weird. Like, these Israelites, they through, man. 2/3 Israel, they through, man. But that was the point of the lesson. I just wanted to go into the fact that we're not in the new covenant right now, and those men that are preaching and teaching y'all that we are in the new covenant, they don't care about y'all, and ultimately they're not the good shepherd. They're not walking in the ways of Yahweh Shai. They're not operating within the spirit of Yahweh Shai, which is the good shepherd. But the men of Yahweh Shai are going to operate within his spirit, and they're also going to be that good shepherd, warning the flock, caring for the flock, teaching the flock the truth, But with that, I hope you brothers and sisters will edify, and until next time, Shalom.